The very first Warcraft video I made was uploaded in December of 2014, about a month after Warlords was released. In it, I praised the expansion and talked about how great Garrisons were. I also suggested a number of ways Blizz could improve the feature overall. It was a popular video, it got a lot of views very quickly and received an overwhelmingly positive response. Unfortunately, that victory was short-lived. The views basically capped at around 1,000, and none of my future WoW videos were anywhere near as liked. Maybe I'll make a video about that someday. Rejection, heartbreak, disappointment, defeat in the realm of YouTube. Of course, if I wanted anyone to actually watch it, I'd have to give it a misleading title, like Top 10 Boobs, Bacon Strips, Cute Cats, and Life Hacks. Coffee Rules, TED Talk. Anyway, my crying aside, I wanted to take a look at Garrisons now, roughly 4 months later. The honeymoon period is definitely over. And while I still like Garrisons, I kinda consider them a failure. Actually, scratch that. Failure is way too strong a word. Garrisons were a bold endeavor, but they didn't entirely work. In this video I want to point out their faults and suggest improvements for Garrisons in future expansions. Number 1. Players should only have one Garrison per server. As it is right now, every character has their own individual Garrison. This is just ridiculous, even for players who only have 1 or 2 alts. I have 11 characters personally, 1 from each class. And yes, I realize that's extreme. I'm an altaholic with a serious problem, I'm pathetic, whatever. 10 of these characters are above level 90, which means they have access to Garrisons. I actually timed myself today to see just how fast I could burn through all my Garrison chores on 10 individual toons. I tended to every mine, every herb garden, and every follower mission board. It took me 65 minutes to complete, and bear in mind, most of my characters have only unlocked the level 1 mine and the level 1 herb garden. Also, at this point, I only bother to schedule follower missions that reward gold. So if I wasn't doing just the bare minimum, these daily chores would have taken me even longer to complete. It's no wonder I now often ignore this aspect of the game in general. In my opinion, I spent 65 minutes today not playing Warlords of Draenor. I busied myself with a Facebook game while I completely ignored the world of Warcraft. Now this may sound like I'm being overly harsh, but my miserable attitude is a direct result of having been burnt out. The constant repetition of boring tasks has soured my opinion of Garrisons in general. Don't get me wrong, I place a lot of the blame on myself. Blizzard opened up an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I ate from it like an irresponsible pig. But the buffet itself was a bad design from day one. All my characters are on one server. If they all shared one Garrison, that would have been perfect. I'd log on to my main, clear out my mine, pick all my herbs, and then those locations would have been empty for all my other toons until the daily reset. The same model should have been used for Garrison followers. All my characters should have access to the same pool. And if my druid schedules a mission, then my druid gets the reward. It can't be any simpler than that. A system like this, essentially first come, first serve, is beyond alt-friendly. Not only would it help prevent premature burnout, but it would help keep the economy in check. The auction house wouldn't be flooded with materials, ore and herbs would be valuable again, and best of all, players would have less of a reason to remain locked up inside their Garrisons. Number 2. Blizzard should get rid of Garrison follower tokens. One of the best things about Warlords of Draenor was actually just a simple quality of life improvement. We got more bag space. Giving us a tab for toys and eventually heirlooms was fantastic. But Blizzard didn't stop there. They gave each of our characters access to their own gigantic reagent tabs. For the first time in a long time, we all had more bag space than we knew what to do with. But that relief was short-lived. Warlords gave us a veritable cornucopia of excess space-wasting items. It's truly astounding how ludicrous things actually became. I could easily make an entire video discussing only the brand new items that shouldn't exist, or items that should be classified as toys but aren't. The whole situation's a mess. In relation to Garrison followers, we have 12 individual items that should have been squashed before beta. Armor and weapon tokens. Who thought these were a good idea? I'm not going to waste my time reading their descriptions, otherwise I'd be here all day. Suffice it to say, they should have just been part of the Garrison mission table user interface. I gain a token for 3 armor points, I gain a token for 9 armor points. This is stupid. Bypass the tokens altogether and compile these points into a singular location, and keep that location out of my bags. Give me a simple arrow up function where I can scale my followers' armor and weapon levels to the settings I desire. While we're at it, follower ability reroll tokens should be the same way. There's no reason whatsoever that these items needed to be separate from the mission table UI. If garrisons carry over into the next expansion, I want to see this changed. Number 3. Mission table animations need an off switch. I'm not going to waste much time on this. Everyone knows the mission table animations are long and tedious and boring. They serve no purpose in terms of gameplay or otherwise. Yes, I'm aware that third-party add-ons currently exist to eliminate this issue, but in future expansions, Blizzard should give us the ability to disable them, or perhaps just cut them from the game altogether. Number 4. Players need good reasons to step outside their garrisons. Blizzard took away flying in Warlords because they wanted us to experience the world, to enjoy the environment, but at the same time they gave us garrisons. Most of us are locked up and isolated in our little fortresses of solitude, rarely participating in worldly events. That's mainly because all of Draenor was revealed to be one gigantic Apexis daily grind, but that's a whole other topic entirely. My point is, if the garrison feature is going to exist beyond Warlords, it needs to encourage players to step outside the walls more often. Turn off trade chat. Don't allow garrisons to become cheap substitutes for capital cities. Get rid of the rotating dailies and material traders. Inviting friends and guildmates into your garrison just so they can access a fur trader or snag a quest from Harrison Jones is not social interaction. It's a small hurdle one needs to jump in order to complete a mundane task. Give us the ability to slowly increase the automation of our garrisons. For example, I'm currently picking herbs in my garrison garden. That's grunt work at best. Meanwhile, I'm sending my followers on epic adventures. They're questing and raiding while I'm pretending to be Martha Stewart. Let me go out into the world questing and raiding to bring back items like garden hose and shovels, mining picks, and so on. That way I can equip my followers with said items. Give these tools a short lifespan, like a duration of 3 days. That's 3 days where my followers will do garrison chores for me, before the items break and need to be replaced. What if I want to upgrade my mage tower from level 3 to level 4, or level 4 to level 5, whatever the cap might be? Instead of mindlessly grinding mobs for waystones, let me attack enemy garrisons and steal their blueprints. Let me go to capital cities, talk to the locals, and get hot tips on where I can track down truly unique and valuable garrison followers. There's a headhunter in my level 2 inn who currently does this for me. Screw that. I want her job. I want to travel to seedy taverns and secret hideaways in order to recruit dangerous and deadly individuals. I understand my character was given the rank of general, and in a real-life military situation, a general's not going to go on his own missions. He's going to stay in his garrison and bark orders at underlings. But this is the world of Warcraft. I don't want realism. I want to be a reckless, irresponsible leader like Captain Kirk or Jean-Luc Picard. Those sons of bitches left the Enterprise all the time, and you know what? The universe thanked them for it. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Maybe you might want to click the little thumbs up button that's right below this video. It's kind of like social interaction, but it's not really. Don't worry, it doesn't make us best friends or anything. It just lets me know you're a person, not a robot. Later.